everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shoe Podcast, the only sneaker podcast that is weathering the storm. I'm your co-host, Ryan Landry.
Ooh, I'm your co-host, Henry Young. I got my little floaties on.
I hope everyone's doing all right out of there. By the time this episode comes out, we're either all still dry or some of us are floating down the road. And I put myself in that camp because I floated, was that 9 years ago now? So fingers crossed, I'm still living to tell the tale by the time this episode drops.
We're here with you, partner.
That's right. We're here for you. We are back this week with another episode. We're here to rank 12 of the best Nike What the sneakers. And of course, as you know from the title, we are not going alone with this. Tanner, when you think What the sneakers, give me one word that comes to mind, right? What the sneakers are a
cluster.
That's right, a kaleidoscope. And who better embodies a kaleidoscope than our guest today, the one, the only Alfred Banks, back on the show. Alfred Banks, ladies and gentlemen, first ever three-peat guest. My goal for the end of the episode is once to get him to hear one of my jokes and say, bar.
I mean, starting off the way you did with that one, you are 0 for 1. Good stuff. We shall do it.
Good to have you back, man.
Indeed, it's always a blessing. It's always a good time talking sneakers. My favorite thing on the planet, next to rapping and eating food.
That's right. Hell yeah. First ever three-peat guest. Happy to have you back here to talk not only sneakers, but this week, dropping today, this episode comes back, the new single with Pell. I did the banner for you. We did it right.
Man.
The new single, Get Back, dropping today, out now on streaming platforms, wherever you listen. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh man, quick story behind it was I was in the studio mixing my orchestra album, which is wild to say out loud. And Pell was across the hall making some music. He came in my session, listened to some of the stuff we were doing. I was like, man, we need to get one in, bro. It's been a while since we did a record. And we just went over to the studio. We made this song in a few hours. And man, it's a bop and a half. Shouts to Pell for making the beat. You know what I'm saying? Me and him got together. We wrote this record. And I'm just super hyped about it. It's a really good song. Chorus is really strong. Beat is crazy. Bars are there. Y'all know how I get down. I be rapping my butt off. So if you like bars, you like a bop, beat is crazy, you're going to love this. Get Back is out right now. Go stream it, buy it, listen to it, and do the whole thing you do with music. You know what I mean?
There you go. We'll have it linked in the episode description down below. You, my sir, having a hell of a year right now. Remind me what I miss. The Peloton commercial.
Peloton commercial is the biggest thing on planet Earth right now for me. This is wild business. So Peloton just dropped a new commercial a few weeks ago, and they're using my song G-Wagon. Yep. So if you've seen during the playoffs, you've been seeing maybe the Peloton commercial, then you've heard my song a gazillion times, because apparently they play it a lot, which is wild to even think about. What have we done this year?
Documentary, Standing by Himself.
The documentary came out. Man, dude, I played the Super Bowl.
Played the Super Bowl?
Which is like the biggest. I mean, you really can't get bigger than. I played literally in front of the Superdome. Like, it was wild business. Like Eli Manning and Peyton were over there kicking footballs, and then they stopped, and then we performed. So it's just like crazy. What is going on in my life? So it's nuts, man, and a few other things that I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, this has been a calendar year, and I'm super excited.
The orchestra show was this year or last?
That was actually last year.
Okay.
That was last year, yeah. But it was such an amazing time. And may or may not run it back.
We'll okay. Ooh. All right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll just have to see.
Come on, man.
Here tonight to talk about What the sneakers. We've got 12 of Nike's best. Alfred, in general, how do you feel about the What the line? I look to you in that sense of fashion and style as the guy who's everyone's going right, you go left. We run the Sneakers of Louisiana bracket. Alfred is notoriously voting for the underdog in every poll. The 1 to 30, I love to see it. So I feel like this kind of like eclectic mash made me think of you in a little bit of a way. How do you feel about these?
What the is interesting, man, because obviously it doesn't have the same zing it used to. I remember a time when that came out. It was a wave. You know what I mean? It was different. It was shut the world down, at least the sneaker world down for a little bit. So it doesn't have that same zing anymore. But it's one of my favorites. It's one of those classic colorways that really it set the tone for cats to just be different. And I don't know. And usually when there's a story behind it, maybe it's a collage of different pieces of different sneakers and stuff like that. That always makes it a thing. So I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Let's go ahead and let's get into it. For the audio only listeners, you might want to switch to visuals if you can over on YouTube or on Spotify. You can catch this. It's going to be a visuals heavy episode. So we've got our tier list by the time you're watching this, to the left of us here. And above us, we will have the sneaker that we're currently talking about. 12 of them on a tier list from S tier down to F tier. And the catch is that the three of us ultimately have to agree where it goes. Normally, this can get a little heated, right? Because it's Tanner and I 1 for 1. But now with the third man in here, the option of a 2-1 vote, I'm excited to see the possibilities that it opens up here. Because there's been a lot of times where Tanner and I don't agree, but someone's got to concede for the episode to go on. And now there's a chance for someone else to stand in the room and say, no, you're actually wrong, and I've got the evidence here with me.
I'm ready. Oh.
Well, starting off, let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to start with some performance basketball, which I said before we started recording.
We got the
Alfred is our performance basketball correspondent live in the field here. The Nike KD6, what the KD? Let me see if I can pull up over to the side here. Tanner, if you can help me out as we go here with the doc. Can you pull some of the release years that these came out just so we have a little bit of context here?
I easily can.
What the KD6, I think these came out in 2014, if I'm reading this correctly. And for the audio only listeners, we'll do a little bit of describing here. So obviously the two shoes mismatched. We've got, I don't know if this is the right or the left here, with one of them orange with the polka dots with like this kind of like chevron zigzag on the tongue. The bottom of the sole looks like glow in the dark there. Air units on the back. So yeah, one kind of like predominantly almost like camo or leaf green and orange. The other one like a green and a purple there. Alfred, we're going to give you the honors. First off here, thoughts on the KD6 before we talk about where they go on the list, maybe?
First of all, it's my favorite KD model.
Okay.
Not a huge fan of this variation of what the though. Okay. I'm being honest. It's too random. It's too much going on. And I know that's the basis of it, but it's like too much going on. There's nothing. I don't remember if there's any like any background on the colors, like why the colors are where they are, whatever the case. I don't remember that when they drop. So I'm not a huge fan of this colorway, but I love the model.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I stand. I put it somewhere around CD. You did?
Yeah.
That'd be not.
I think that works for me. I'm pulling the article now. It looks like it pulls colorways from the Ant Pearl, the Liger, Maryland Blue Crab, which I do not remember that one.
I don't remember that. I don't see the Pearl either. Where's the Pearl at?
The Pearl is on one of the shoes. It looks
that's
like,
always the tough one.
On the purplish one, I think it's got the flowers underneath the pattern of it there. Let's see if this circles back. Yeah, so on that left one, it looks just kind of like pink blobs, but that's the Ant Pearl right there.
Okay, that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
I love the Pearl too.
I think I would be totally fine to see these either at C or D tier here. Tanner, what do you think?
It is tough. Just kind of knowing, I guess, where we're at. I might have to go D tier on this one. I think literally just maybe because of the like lightning like overlay on that heel. Just not a huge fan of.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll drop these in D tier for now. As the episode goes on, if there's anything we want to shift around by the end of it, we can here. No problem. Next up on our list, we got the Nike LeBron 11. What the LeBron? These, I feel like the thing with these is that left shoe, all like that white background with like the black text on it, kind of reminds me of like when Jared Leto did the Joker, and it just looked like a bunch of like random tattooing on someone there. The bottom of the shoe is cool. Too bad you won't see it unless you're like dunking on someone or like last thing you see. But I don't know. I see the South Beach in one of them. I see, is that the Stewie? That's like the red with the yellow swoosh on the toe of the other one there.
Too as well, yeah.
Fruity Pebbles on the insole there. So that's kind of
nice.
You know, I understand more of the references on this one than the KD6, so I want to give it some points for that.
100%. I'm giving that one like a C, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think this is like a what the accomplished in a way where you can tell where the other colors are coming from. This is like the last model I liked from LeBron. And I mean, everything just, even though it's all over the place, it feels like a organized sneaker.
Yeah.
So I'm putting it like C. You
Okay.
dig? It's one of my least favorite Bron models.
Yeah.
If it was like the 6 or something, I mean, that's like S for me. But
Wow.
I'll put it like C. I think C is much better than the 6 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
The KD6.
Yeah, I would say better than the KD6, still not phenomenal. I see Tanner, thank you, added these released in 2014. So more than a decade later, do these stand up? Would you still rock these, or would you have even rocked them 2014?
Hell yeah.
Easy for you. I'm good with C tier on these. Tanner, what do you think?
See, here's the weird thing. I mean, I think I get outvoted here.
Yeah.
Just
already
based
have,
on
let's hear it.
But oddly enough, it might be a call me crazy, but I kind of like these at B tier. The style of it, and I think using the bigger panels looks and feels more 2014. I think that's kind of like the tough thing about this. However, I kind of, like Alfred said, it is, I just feel like it really embodied the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that pulls me to B tier. I understand it at a C tier, but the love I have for the series makes me be like, I think you did it well.
Okay.
But I'm okay with C tier. I'm okay with C tier. But
put it
I
at
like
C for now, man, and then maybe let's talk, because I'm not mad at that either. Right?
Came with reasons.
I just think I agree with you. Let's put it at the C right now. Let's just see where this list takes us. Yeah, man.
All right.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
Moving on next, we got, this is one of the big ones and one of the recent protros here, the Kobe 8, What the Kobe. Now, I'm not as familiar with all the different Kobe colorways on this one, like the names of them, but I do recognize them. And I think the thing I like more about these is that you've got that what the spirit, but each shoe is a little bit more cohesive with itself rather than like 15 different panels all from a different colorway there.
100%. That's a 7, correct?
I think this is the 8. Let me double check, because I thought this was the 8 that just came back.
Yeah, I think it is 8.
Pretty sure this is the 8
okay,
that just came back. Yeah.
I'm rocking with, I think, again, it's that uniform, even though it's all over the place, it kind of gives me the same like kind of LeBron feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's not one of my favorite Kobe models, but I love it. I love the way that they accomplished this. Feels good. The kind of icy sole on the purple one is kind of dope. You feel me? I'm rocking with it. I'm thinking like C, because I see so many heaters in the rest of this list.
Okay.
I'm seeing C though, but like, what y'all think?
I honestly kind of like these at B tier. Like, I like these a little bit more than the LeBrons.
Okay.
I would say. I wouldn't argue that much if they ended up at C tier there. I do think it being the Kobe 8, like you said, kind of goes against it a little bit. This is where we're relying on you. The Kobe 6 is the real popular model, right? That's the one they did Grinches on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, like, I know the shape of the 6s, but I think that for me would make it go even a little bit higher. So I could see it at B tier. I wouldn't hate it at C tier. Tanner, you might be our tiebreaker here.
Oh man, this one is tough. It honestly, like, this one almost makes me wish we did like 0.5, you know, like a in betweener.
The C plus tier, the B minus.
Yeah. I kind of put these in the same kind of like grading as, unfortunately, the KDs. I think the Kobe's a better model. For sure. I like the cohesive blending that they did on this model. What I really like in the What the series is that where it literally looks like, no, we just ripped this panel off and threw it on here, ripped this panel off and threw it on there. However, I think of the 3 that we've covered, I would probably more prefer wearing these.
Yeah.
I got to go C tier.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie though, if it was the Kobe 10, it'd be A tier for me.
All the way up?
The Kobe 10.
Yeah, that joint's fire. The joint that come up all the way to your calf muscles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fire.
Give me the fit. Are you putting the jeans over those, or do you tuck the jeans into the Kobe 10s?
No, man, you gotta wear shorts with that.
Like, okay, shorts only.
No pants. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I just want to see someone try to tuck them into the Kobe's.
Hell no, you can't treat them like the Air Mags, man. You gotta wear some shorts with those.
Right, yeah.
Oh man.
All right, that's most of our at least recent performance basketball. Now we're getting into some of the Air Jordan silhouettes here. Starting off with the What the Air Jordan 5. These released back in 2020. COVID lockdown. I really vividly remember when these came out. You got Tokyo inspired, like predominantly on one, Raging Bull on the other. And then I think on the red one, it's green beans on the tongue. I think on the yellow one, it's Fresh Princes on the soles. Look at Alfred slowly deflating the balloon over time. How bad, Alfred? How bad are these?
Yeah.
I'm going F tier B.
All the way to the bottom.
I'm going F tier.
All the way to the bottom. Tell us why.
No, man, I got a couple pairs of 5s in there. Not a huge fan of the 5. That's first off.
Okay.
I don't have any, even though I remember the Tokyo, the yellow joints. I don't really have any connection to none of the colorways other than maybe the green bean.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care about any color that's on this shoe. Not a huge fan of the 5. And plus, lately, I ain't gonna lie, like Jordan has kind of been falling down to the wayside as it pertains to the shoes that I've been wearing. I'm not really wearing J's like I used to. I'm going F, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You remember do you remember what people were calling these when they came out? Ketchup and mustard. People were calling these ketchup and mustard. And to this day, that's all I say when I look at them. I feel like they strayed so far from the what the motif on these, where it's like, you didn't what the enough. This is the why, though. We just want to know why this happened.
So good.
That,
I don't know if I was ready to go all the way to the bottom at F tier on these. I was probably going to go for E tier, but we don't have anything worse than these as of yet. So it's not crazy to say.
That's the thing. My love, and it hurts because I really love the 5s. But I don't really see, like, you would have to really pay attention to be like, oh, this is a what the, rather than maybe being like, is someone just doing a throwback where they're wearing like
two different pairs
pairs of shoes, So I just for the sauciness, I think I'm agreeing with Alfred. I'm going F tier.
Just for the headlines, we're putting these in F tier.
Yeah.
My guy.
Yeah.
My guy.
Oh, what the F tier? Yeah, that's our clickbait right there.
We got more to come, but that is definitely one of the lowest points I would say on this list.
Oh yeah.
Next up, we got the Air Jordan 1 What the Doernbecher. These released in 2021. I think these were a one-off auction. I think they did these for a charity auction.
Oh yeah.
I think they just made one pair of these. Tanner,
and
do you know more about
money.
These? How much they raised on these?
I think it was like $500,000.
No way. 500 on these.
I think so. Hold on. Let me just double check, but I'm almost certain.
That's almost half of what Alfred got for a Peloton commercial. There's no way they raised that.
If I did make that, I wouldn't be on this damn podcast. I'll tell you that much. I'd be in Zimbabwe somewhere.
We'd be talking to his agent right now. We'd not be talking to him.
Riding the zebra in Zimbabwe.
They actually raised $565,000 and $69.88. So yeah,
the 88 cents a crucial footnote.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
I remember when these that auction, like hearing and seeing like the titles of all the articles, so that they raised like $500,000. I was like, $500,000 pair of shoes. Oh my man, that's crazy. But
after eBay fees, they netted $60 from what I heard.
And then eBay IP banned them.
Oh man, that's crazy. This is a good shoe, man.
This is a good
I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I'm a big fan of the 1. That's like one of the few J's that I wear at this point in the game. Classic shoe, good story behind it. It was for a cause that mattered, raising some money. I'm rocking B tier on these. I think this is a really good example of what you can kind of see with the, what I'm saying, where we're going with some of the panels and stuff. And I like it, and it's just all over the place, but in a really good way. It feels uniform and organized. Kind of in the same vein as the LeBron, but obviously a better model, a better model. So I'm going B with these, man.
I'm not mad at that. I think you hit the nail on the head, is that like it's got the motif, but it's still got enough wearability that it's not just like totally out there and wild, even though sometimes that's what you want out of what the. I'm not mad at these at B tier. I was going to say maybe even A tier. I don't want to go all the way to S with these, obviously, but I think B tier I'm okay with. A tier I'm okay with as well. Tanner, your thoughts? Tanner was about to say A tier.
I like a B tier.
Okay.
I just love the Doernbecher series. I think it's always really great. I think is a perfect, because those shoes that they come out are always so just like wild. They're creative. Like the kids just have like a super big time with it, which is awesome. I think it fits super well. I think I have it at the B tier just because not as like you would have to look and be okay, so what panel is this shoe from, rather than some of the other What the series where you're like, oh yep, no, I know exactly. Yeah. So I think that's what has it at B tier. I do think it is a perfect like chaotic symphony though, with the What the series. So I'm really happy with this one, but just the notability I think has it at a B for me.
I like it. We'll throw it up there. And coming in at number 6 here, we got the What the Prestos. These released back in 2021. That's kind of when they were bringing the Prestos back even more and more. I'll be honest, like I know the lightning colorway of the Prestos, and other than that, I do not know any of the other Presto colorways that it's calling to, other than maybe the yellow one's got that sock liner, which I remember they did like the Prestos, and all the Prestos had like the mascots, and one of them had like a bee. It was like a black and yellow shoe. So maybe that's like the yellow cage, or maybe that's the yellow sock liner. But either way, the left shoe there, the red shoe with the yellow swoosh, reminds me of the Stewie Lebrons we were just talking about. Like it reminds me of Stewie's, or like Mickey Mouse or something like that, or like McDonald's. Like it just looks, that red and that yellow kind of makes me think of that. But other than that, I do not know too many of these Presto colorways.
I actually had those shoes.
These What the Prestos?
I had them. I found them at a thrift store. I can say a name, right? Can I say a name?
Yeah, you can say anything.
Yeah, I found them at Buffalo Exchange for like $25.
Okay.
So I had them. I'd be hunting, but I saw those. I had them for about 3-4 months. I loved them. They were very comfortable, and I just kind of got rid of them. I don't really have too much to say on these. I had them. I put them at a C tier, man. Comfortable shoe, but when I look at because kind of with you, Ryan, I don't really know. The only other Presto I have is the Doernbecher, the pink ones that came out a few years ago. Okay. And that's the only, that and the acronyms. Those are the only two Prestos that I truly know, and obviously the OG colorway ones. But I don't really know too much about them, so I bought them. I was like, oh, cool, and I had them, and I got rid of them. So I'm going like C tier. Yeah, they did it well, I guess. I don't know.
I think they did it well. The only thing I think when I see this is that it reminds me how the Lightning Prestos are kind of like the best Prestos I think I've seen. Like I see the Lightning panel, and every other one just kind of looks like a solid color,
Facts.
So you said C tier?
Yeah.
C tier, I could see D tier as well. Tanner?
I can see D tier. Actually, man, look, you can throw that bad boy in the D tier, Dad. I ain't mad at that.
Hey, I'm glad he came to it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to.
You don't want to rock the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that.
D tier is good.
Easy enough. Halfway through the list, how are we looking here? For the audio only listeners, a quick recap. B tier, B tier, we got Doernbecher Jordan 1s. C tier, we got LeBron 11s, Kobe 8s. D tier, KD 6s, Air Prestos. And F tier, we got Jordan 5s. Looking correct to me so far. There's nothing on here that feels wildly off. Yeah.
I think so. And I don't know if we set it at the top, but we don't have like a ranking within the tiers. We're just kind of throwing them up there as they come. So it's not, we're thinking, one's better than the other in the C tier.
Yeah. So in C tier, it's not like the LeBron 11 we're saying is better than the Kobe 8. They're just both C tier. At least at this point. If at the end of the episode we want to have fun, we can. Alfred, it turns out we might have just needed you on the show all along, because normally halfway through a list, Tanner and I would at least each be like having our bargaining chips of like, oh, well, at the end of the episode, I need my shoe to get here, so I'm going to let him get his shoe there. So far, this has been the most like amicable tier list we've done.
I mean, well, look, man, if you guys can maybe find some room in the budget, bring me on. I, I was kidding, man. Nah, I'm glad to make things a little easier for y'all. Hell yeah.
There you go. All right,
Our
moving
mediator.
on to the second half of the list, starting off with the Nike and Clot, What the Clot. This one pulls inspiration from a lot of the Nike and Clot collaborations that they've done. I think to me, most famously, the Kiss of Death Air Max 1, that like brown and orange and tan Air Max 1 with like the clear plastic on the toe. That's what one of the shoes really reminds me of. And then the right one, I'm not sure exactly which Clot collabs it's calling out to. Maybe that they did that one, was it the Air Forces that had like the all silk upper on them that I think was also tearaway? It kind of, I think it makes me think of that. I think it was the Air Force one, not the Dunk that they did. But either way, solid. I think this is kind of a little bit of like a if you know what the, like,
Very.
because otherwise
Sure.
it just kind of looks like two mismatched shoes. They go together well, but not the craziest what the pairing we've seen.
Yeah. I gotta lie to you. I have a pair of Clot Dunks in there. Those ones that look like kind of like the holographic like Pokemon card.
Yeah.
I have those. I haven't pulled them out yet. I bought them when they came out, but
Mm-hmm.
so I like a lot of Clot stuff. I think
Yeah.
Clot, for me though, they get there and then they miss the mark. Like right there, and then they miss the mark. Like always. You know what I mean? I'm going like E tier, maybe D tier. Not really a, also I like SBs. I don't like normal dunks. So you give me a normal, other than those other clocks I got, because I got them for such a good price. And I was trying to impress a friend I was with at the time, like, you got buddies. I don't really do normal dunks. I like SB. I need that padding on the tongue. I need the, you know what I'm saying? So
all right.
I'm going D or E tier over here, you know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah, I feel like with Clot, when they brought back the Kiss of Death Air Max 1, that was like 2021, 2022.
Yes.
And the first one they brought back in the OG colorway, cool. And then they did one more and you're like, okay. And then Nike was just doing that thing with collaborators at the time where they're like, run it into the ground. We need 6 colorways of it right now. And I feel like from there, at least in my eyes, Clot never really rebounded back with Nike. And I know now they're doing work with Adidas and it's really other out there stuff, which is not for me. But yeah, I feel like to your point, Alfred, like Clot kind of almost always just gets right to the point where I want to buy it. And the last thing I'm like, I'm not really feeling it anymore.
I'm not rocking with. Some of the Adidas stuff is actually really dope though. They've been paying attention more to like materials, and like using some premium shit over there. And I'm like, yo, this stuff is fire. Like I like it. But they're doing it on like Stan Smiths. And I'm like, I got like 6 pairs of Stan Smiths that I've never worn. You know what I mean? Like I got 7 pairs of Stan Smiths that I've literally never put on my feet, but they're just so cool.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah. I mean, that's a really good analogy of what it is, because it's one of those things where it's like, I like one shoe, but I don't like the other. And then I like the other shoe, but I don't like the other. So I'm like, man, those are really dope. Could you have just done that twice, give me a left and a right? Or like, oh man, like that, kind of like silver one is super dope. But I'm like, I don't want all that mesh and clear like material on my shoe. So kind of like you said, it's like literally like right there at the finish line. And then you're like, I'm done running the marathon. And then you just don't even cross it. So at first my reaction to hearing D and E tier, I was like, that seems crazy. But then the more kind of like talking about it, looking at it, I'm kind of honestly feeling, I think, a good E tier. Like I like it at D tier, but there's also, I'm like, I don't know. Like the Prestos and, the KDs, I like more.
Yep. I would never wear this Clot shoe in my life, is what I'm saying.
So
I would wear a KD6. I'd wear but I would never wear this shoe.
So I don't know. All right, Ryan, you might be the
I think
odd man out, or
I am the odd man out. I think this is my first overruled here because I was fine with these at C tier, but that's because it's a pretty, as far as what this go, it's a pretty safe one. And I think for someone like me who wears like pretty plain, boring shoes, this one gets to that edge of like what I would wear. That being said, I think my personal wearability is not necessarily the driving factor of like, does it make it a good what the shoe? And if both of you want to put it at E tier or D tier, then I think I'm overruled there. You want to go all the way to E tier with it? D or E?
I could I could do D, but I like E. I think E.
I like E.
There it is.
I'll say E just in my core.
Yeah.
Feels right.
In my core, in my heart of hearts, I'm going to put this at E tier. All right. Next up on the list, we are getting now into Nike SB territory. The Thomas Campbell Nike SB Dunk. These released back in 2017. Thomas Campbell, I believe, an artist. I don't remember where based out of, but artists or worked with Nike SB at one point. I'd have to pull up the facts on the side here, but did these What the Dunks, which if I remember correctly, this was kind of one of those first, like, it's a what the, but it's not pulling from a bunch of pre-existing colorway mashups there. Alfred bringing these all the way to the thumbs up there. Where do you see these?
Man, this is really good. This is a really good shoe. It feels good. And I've actually kind of had my eye on these for some years now. If I could find a pair that won't, take my wallet out of commission, I'm going to get them. Man, this is just accomplished so well. They didn't really like the what the is obviously pulled from other things. This is just throwing some colors together, but boy, does it feel good. This shoe makes me go when I look at it. So I'm going B tier with these, baby.
Okay.
I
could see these at B tier. I was worried you wanted to go higher with these because I feel
I'll go B tier.
I feel like, to your point, a good looking shoe, but yeah, the fact that it's just like a bunch of different panels but doesn't come from pre-existing colorways feels like it kind of misses the point of what the
1,000%.
Tanner, where are you at?
I mean, I was really happy, that relief, that feeling that Alfred has when he looks at these shoes. I had when he said B, that okay,
not gonna have to argue today.
I agree. It's you did something, you executed it like really, really well. I feel like having these in the what the category seems like, cheating the system a little bit. But I could understand, like, I'm also like, well, you took the spirit of it, so you're kind of in there. So to me, I think no higher than B tier, and I think if someone said C tier, you would be wrong. But if you would be like in the spirit of what the, I could also be like, I wouldn't be happy, but I could see it. But I think B is perfect for this.
Yeah, I like them there. Next up, sticking to Nike SB Dunk Highs, we got the Nike SB Dunk High What the Doernbecher. So this was another Doernbecher auction charity shoe that they did. This one was before the Jordan 1 back in 2015. This one I'm pretty sure does pull more from previous Doernbechers that they did there. You got the baseball stitching on one and like the plaid on the other, the skull and crossbones on the tongue. I like these. These are fun and playful. These very feel like, these without knowing that they're what the Doernbechers, you look at them and you're like, these seem like Doernbecher mashups, because Doernbechers often, not often, designed by kids and kind of harken to like those childlike things of like Arctic camo and like we're doing the baseball on the tongue and like the floral Hawaii Maui print on the side of it. So I like these. I feel like this is so in the spirit of both What the and Doernbecher.
Facts. Pretty much Doernbecher has like a nice little place in my heart. You know what I mean? We do it for a good cause. And it pretty much, I mean, that Doernbecher 3 is like just so I'm rocking with this pretty tough. I'm not gonna go overboard, but I recognize a bunch of the SBs on this joint. I couldn't put names to them, but I know the shoes when I see them. I'm going B tier on these. Feel good. It's a SB. You dig? It's a B for me.
Yeah, SB tier right there in the name.
Oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like these just as much as the Jordan 1 What the Doernbechers. Like, just as good, no better, no worse. Tanner?
I mean, I go B tier.
Okay. All right.
I think B tier.
You got something you want to say? You got something you want to get off your chest?
I was kind of going back and forth, but I think B tier is really good, just in the same vein as the Jordan 1 Doernbecher, where it's like there is some I can recognize some of the things aspect, but like as a larger scale, I don't think it has that big stamp like the SB and the dunks and things like that. So I think B tier is good. I like it.
part of me is like, we're agreeing too much. We got to stir up some controversy to drag out the episode. The other half of me just heard the thunder outside my window. I was like, we got to wrap this thing up. We're going to lose power at any moment here. We're not going to speed run the episode, but the whole time I'm like,
I mean, I don't know if we're going to do a spoiler here, but I feel like this is where I think the waters start to get rocky.
You think so? With these three?
I think so. This is one of the things where it's like, okay, you've been casting over my line one too many times. You know what I mean?
All right.
I think this is where we get a little fishy.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You might want to put them at the S tier, dog. We can just go ahead to the next sneaker, dog. Go ahead, put them at the S, daddy. Just go ahead and do it, bro.
We got the Nike SB Dunk Low, What the Paul. These released in May 2021. Paul Rodriguez, man.
Put them at the S, man.
They nailed this one.
Bro. Just put it at the S.
Alfred's not even going to bother talking about this shoe.
Look, anything P-Rod touch usually is even the P-Rod one itself is crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a huge fan of that mob, but it just, man, look, they hit. Go ahead, put it at the S, baby.
Yeah.
Good.
S?
Oh, no, don't do this to me.
He was right. He was right. This is where the waters get rocky.
I don't know.
I was thinking A tier. I feel like S tier is so safe, and there's not room to say that things couldn't move. I would happily put these at A tier. S tier though, Tanner, I don't know. You might have to be our tiebreaker here.
Oh, we might. This is where the three-way comes in.
Hey, yo.
I was gonna go B tier.
B tier, you're crazy. B tier, you're out of pocket.
Oh, come on, man. What are we doing?
Because I'm a man of consistency. This, okay, same thing as I've got for everything in the B tier. Great shoe, in the spirit. The iconicness of the panels, is where it gets toughy for me. So now, but here's also the thing: of everything in B tier, would I want these the most? Yes. So could that be the bump to A tier, where it's like, these are fire, these are a great that looks absolutely clean.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see A tier, but the only thing bumping it into A tier would be personal, like, wearability, which it seems like obviously we're all very hype on. So to me, I think the average of all three of us is A tier.
That's what I was going to say. If Alfred wants him in S tier and you want him in B tier, y'all meet me in the middle at A tier.
Okay,
that's the average.
Look, you hear that? We got to meet him.
Fact, right?
This is where he leverages.
Well, look, I'm not gonna lie. Like, obviously, I think I just got a affinity for P-Rod sneakers, and I think the fact that these aren't like official colorways gets X'd out by the fact that it's P-Rod who has some of the best SB colorways, right? At least with the previous SB High, there's no. I mean, he's a great artist, and the shoe came out great, but I don't know who he is. And I don't know, he hasn't done anything otherwise that like kind of really landed with me. P-Rod got like 4 or 5 sneakers that are all just like home runs. So anything he touched for me is just like, okay, I'm rocking with it kind of vibes. So that's why I want to put it at S. But I'm not mad at it at A, man. I mean, obviously I see another shoe in the list that could be S tier, and I think we would all pretty much agree on it.
Yeah.
But I like this at S tier, baby. I ain't gonna lie, but I can rock with it. I ain't mad at it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think to your point and to counter Tanner's point, like, I don't know the names of a lot of these colorways of previous P-Rod shoes that they pull from, but I recognize them visually. So yeah, I get that. Not as iconic as like everyone knows every P-Rod colorway, but like I see them and I'm like, okay, I remember the shoe that they had that on. And I think maybe a hot take here, but maybe since the original Nike SB Dunk this is top 3, top 5, one of the best in terms of the combining all the different panels and still getting a good wearable shoe out of it.
Oh, that's not how I take it all.
All right.
Not wrong.
We're going A tier on these. Next up, second to last, we have the Nike Dunk Low, I believe not SB. Sorry, Alfred. What the Ducks. These released in 2024 in collaboration with University of Oregon. He's going down on these. Let's see where it stops. Let's see where all the way down. Hang on. So there were 2 shoes in this pack. This one that's on the screen right now, that it's like predominantly more white and gray, like lighter colors in the colorway. And then the other one that is predominantly darker, black and gray and green on this. Here's the thing of that one pair, the bottom one on the screen right now, I wish they just made that right shoe twice. The one that's like the official Oregon colorways. I don't need the one with the pink swoosh. That bottom one goes so tough with just like the official Oregon colorways. This other one, less for me. So I don't know. This is the first one we have on here that comes as part of a pack. I don't know how that factors in the criteria or not, but Alfred, clearly you got a big reaction out of Tanner and I with these.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Oregon series though. I don't really like any of those shoes, man.
Okay.
And also it's a regular dunk. So you pretty much missed me out the gate with you 0 for 2 for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, they accomplished it pretty well. You're right. That right shoe with the orange panel in the back panel is fire.
Mm-hmm.
But that bitch at like a C. You hear me?
That seems low. I don't know. I kind of had these. I had these no lower than B tier. A tier feels a little crazy to have them next to. Now that we got what the Paul's at A tier. Tanner, what do you think on these? Put you in the hot seat now.
Really did. It is tough because I get what the spirit, and I do like it. I don't think the brand has enough of it. I think that like the Oregon series is it's dominant. It has, it makes a sellout, but I just feel like it doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't feel big. It was tough because I see these in B, but I just feel like C is that kind of like right spot for him. I think I could either see it at like,
Alfred, again, waving you over to his side here.
Nitpicky, we could either do like the top of C or the bottom of B.
Here's the thing about C tier on these. I think I'm recognizing I've got clot bias once again. I've got the blood clot once again, because I think I'm factoring in the wearability on these once more, in that like, this is something I would want to wear. But when I take that step back, I'm like, well, is this pulling from previous like Oregon PEs? And if I don't even know what it's pulling from, or if it's just school colors, then the spirit kind of gets a little bit lost there.
And I don't think they are pulling from.
I don't think so either.
I only know the like the Jordan Oregon PEs, really, not the.
So
if this is dunk,
it seems like they just incorporated more of the school, like the football team's uniforms.
Yeah.
So the University of Oregon's football team is very infamous for having just like 12 different uniforms. Like they have a uniform for every game. So it seems like incorporated more of that rather than the shoes. So
where's the pink even come from?
I was just wondering that.
I feel like that has to be on
something like maybe breast cancer awareness or something like that. That was
my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Like, so where did that even come from?
I just feel like for that, it's a C tier for me.
I think that's fair.
It's a C for me.
Swayed. Yeah.
All right. Oh, here we go.
This
one might be. This one.
Last but certainly not least.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
Is it a slam dunk? Did we save it for last to keep the viewer retention? Perhaps.
Come on, man. What are we doing?
The Nike SB Dunk Low, What the Dunk, back in 2007, the one that started it all. I think we're pretty unanimous here, so let's stall for time a little bit. The one thing I will say, on the right shoe, that inner panel, I don't know if maybe like me putting the materials together for this episode is the first time I've ever really looked at it that much. I feel like kind of weaker than I remember it being. Just like and I think it's just because it's like it's two different shades of blue with a blue swoosh right next to each other and a blue eye stay. That one side shot, I think it's on the next slide here, was the first time I looked at What the Dunks, and I was like, that angle, and I was like, that looks a little weird. That looks like a little goofy. But you're so used to seeing them from the outside where it's got like the pigeon on it with like the baseball stitching, or the other side that has like ray guns on the outside of it there. But these are everything.
I mean, this is the joint.
Yeah, we would not be doing this episode were it not for this one.
I think this is. I have such a love from this series, literally just from this shoe, where it is like the most like I just feel like playground, just like lunch table discussion of like, man, if they pulled this from here and then here from here, like you would have the greatest shoe. And then Nike did it, and you go, wow, that looks crazy. It looks unbelievably awesome, but also just like this hideous Frankenstein thing. Like, it is the epitome of that, like, creativity and fun, and just like, I'm gonna do something, and if it looks like a mangled mess, I don't care. I had fun just being a creative. And it, like I said, I think that just set the standard. So to me, when you have a what the kind of like our F tier, I'm just like,
this is why B tier.
Yeah, like, why didn't you? It's a what the? You go crazy. You make a nasty shoe.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is S tier. I mean, this is
it. It's unspoken.
Yeah, that's the joint right here, man. This is the joint. I was gonna go more B tier, but I guess with
the way you explained it with the kids on the playground, you really pulled at my heartstrings. Yeah,
I really connected.
Nah, this is S tier. This is ridiculous. This is the go to ghost. This is the joint. I mean, some of the greatest colorways of the, like, come on, man, what are we doing?
Yeah. All right. So here we are looking back at it once more for the audio only listeners. S tier by itself, what the dunks. A tier by itself, what the Paul Nike SB dunks. B tier, we got 3 in no particular order. What the Doernbecher Jordan 1s, Thomas Campbell Nike SB dunk highs, and what the Doernbecher Nike SB dunk highs. In C tier, we got LeBron 11s, we got Kobe 8s, and we got the Nike What the Ducks that released in 2024. In D tier, we got KD 6s and What the Prestos. E tier, we got What the Clots, and F tier, we have Jordan 5s. I will say 2 things. One of the first ones we've done in a while where I think we've actually put a shoe in every tier. And secondly, look at that bell curve. Look at B and C, and then just kind of the taper off the end up to A tier and S tier, and then down from D tier to F tier. Pretty good distribution. The fact that we got one in each, unintentionally good. Gentlemen, once more at the end of the episode here, does anyone want to make a stand for something moving on the list? Negotiations to be made.
All right, now hear me out on the 5s.
Hey, yo, come on, man.
Hear me out on the 5s. Is there anything lower than F tier? No.
So look, like, so do we all agree like that the 5 is like the worst one though?
I think the 5 is easily the worst one on this list.
Yeah, right. I feel like the 5 is much worse than, obviously Clot is above it.
Yeah,
I think the 5 is just like what were y'all doing? It was it was a pandemic. Everything was like all over the place.
You got to give them some grace. Yeah.
It's just people may look at it and be like, well, to me that seems like the most wearable like shoe. It's just basically a solid yellow and then a solid red like 5, and those colors are also complementary. But again, it just is. It feels like, again, like, you know, sometimes Nike kind of gets into that, like, we got to put something out to put something out. And this was the most just like, you know, hey, I you know, your name's at the end of the group presentation, but, you know, you really didn't do anything. That's kind of what the 5 feels like. But I mean, one, I think really cool that unintentionally we have a shoe in every ranking, but I also feel pretty good. Like, I feel like there was reasoning for every shoe being where it needs to be. And sometimes I feel like Ryan and I will do these, and we occasionally that shoe will come and we're just like, it's in this ranking, and I can't really tell you why. It just has to be.
It just goes here.
Yeah. So I like that every shoe had a rank. So I mean, crazy enough, but I think our best list yet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think one thing, not to harp on that 5, but I think one thing I do want to say is, because that Tokyo 5, because I remember those yellow 5s, and I was like, holy crap, those shoes are amazing, right? But they were so unattainable.
Yeah.
And so I think this what the kind of made that shoe kind of attainable.
Yeah.
Which is the only plus I could give it, because like when they reach for those shoes that, you know, they cost 20 racks and you just can't get them, and they bring them down to like the general release kind of space, and then regular people could wear it, it's like a good and bad thing. And I know y'all know why it's a bad thing and it's a good thing, right? Attainability is definitely a good thing, but it's a killer to exclusivity and like whatever. That's my only plus to that shoe. The Clot just seems like y'all know I'm about obscurity. I love obscure shoes, but the Clot just is a little too damn obscure for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, what? what the, and not in a good way. That's all I got to say. I think this list is perfecto. Wow.
There you go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Not every, but the best Nike What the Shoes ranked from S tier to F tier. Leave a comment down below. Let us know, what do you think of our ranking here. Once more, we want to thank our guest, Alfred, for coming back on the show this week. A reminder that, hang on, wrong one. A reminder that his new single, Whippel, Get Back, is out now wherever you find music. Alfred, thank you once more for coming on the show. Anything you want to leave the people with before we go?
www.underdogcentral.com. Please visit the website, check it out. New single loud, go play that, go listen to it, share it with a friend. Man, it's gonna be a whole lot of stuff coming very soon. I have a couple announcements to make later this year, which are gonna be really cool. I made history last year. We're gonna do it again. And if you go back to the beginning of the episode, then you might know what I'm talking about if you put two and two together. So, yes, that's it. Alfred Banks. Follow me at Underdog Central on all social media. UNDERDOGCENTRAL. Underdog Central everywhere. And yeah, man, that's it for Alfred Banks.
There you go. We will have links to all of his socials down in the episode description below. You can also find us at shoepodcast.com across all socials. At Shoe Podcast, everywhere except for where we're not. If you made it this far in the episode, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Consider hitting the subscribe button, the follow, the like, the share, the comment, whatever the action is wherever you are. And if you want to continue the conversation with us and friends and fans of the show, you can do so in our Discord, linked in the episode description down below. Tanner, anything you want to leave the people with to ponder before they go? Alfred, we'll get your take on it as well. This is Tanner's segment. Here we go.
Yeah. If you were to be a flavor of Skittle, what flavor of Skittle would you be?
Lime.
I was going to say green, but when it was lime, not apple. They switched. I think it's back to lime now, isn't it?
It is?
I think they switched to apple. I think it's back to lime now. Tanner real quickly went, hang on, boys. I didn't expect it to turn into this. Yeah.
I didn't know my man was tapped into Skittle like that.
Nah, I also haven't eaten a pack of Skittles in
It's been a minute.
7 years.
I think it's back to lime now. Tanner?
Okay. The light purple, kind of like lavender from the tropical pack.
Wow. Okay. He thinks he's him. He thinks he's him.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, that's my least favorite pack of Skittles. That blue one, oh man, that was, respectfully too, man. You love what you love and like what you like. Yeah. That whole pack tastes like buns. But I feel you though. Love.
Good thing we're wrapping it up here then. Thank you everyone for checking out another episode of Shoe Podcast. We'll catch you all next week. Have a good weekend. Later.